Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin and I'm a dumb dad.
Hi, my name is Evan and I'm a dumb dad.
Cheers, dummy.
Cheers, pal. It's nice to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen you in like 4 days, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
And it feels like it's been a long time.
We spend a lot of time together.
But it just feels like, yeah, I'm so happy to.
You went on a trip?
I went on a trip. I went on like the shortest trip out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And still, that wasn't even like the 4 days of that. Was like 34 hours of the 4 days. But
is that what it really was? 34 hours?
I don't know. We could quickly do some math. My flight was at
How about this? When did you leave your home?
Saturday morning at like I don't know, 6 a.m.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got home?
Got home Sunday at about 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, like 34 hours.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Close friend of mine that I haven't seen in a long time got married in Arizona, and so I skipped out there to attend the wedding and just jumped on back. It was really fun. It was fun just to go do it was such a short trip, but it was just good to see a couple people.
You went with no kids.
I went with no kids.
That's insane.
It felt crazy to
Yeah.
just be, and then came back, and I was partially Sunday, so I came back halfway through Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get canceled, this was pre-approved by my wife.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was delaying the forever, knowing that.
What do you mean pre-approved? Were you like, hey, I bought these tickets.
No.
Realize it's Mother's Day. I can totally cancel them. And she's like, no, you can go. That's fine.
The higher the pitch,
Yeah.
the more in trouble you are later on.
Yeah.
It's like a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I knew my friend was getting married. Never
Yeah.
really considered it was Mother's Day when we first, whatever we first heard the date. It was like earlier this year in terms of the date. It
was
May.
Earlier Mother's Day than usual.
Yeah. And then as it got closer and closer, it was like, I should really think about whether or not this is going to be a yes or no. Well, because the whole thing was like, I was probably going to drive. It's like 7 or 8 hours there, something like that.
Okay.
And so I thought, if I'm really going to do it, I could probably just drive and we'll just try to make it that way.
Oof.
I know. Then it's much longer.
Right.
And gas prices are not dropping like it's hot, let's say. Anyway, all that to say, she was like, I was like, I kind of made the decision. I don't think I'm going to go. And she was like, well, why not? And I said, well, I'd be home like halfway through Mother's Day. And I just don't think I want to do that. And she was like, I think because your friend's getting married and you haven't seen him in a long time and it's kind of a rare opportunity, you should go. And so she kind of made the final call, the decision.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to like leave it up to her, whatever she wanted. Right. But at the same time, I was like, I don't really feel like I can make the call. Certainly not without involving her or discussing it. And
sure.
But she was like, you really should go. So I went.
It's wild because for a lot of moms, what they like as their Mother's Day is to get a hotel room for the night and get away.
I know.
And you did that.
And yeah, I did that. Anyway, I had a really nice Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. I mean, I did everything I could. I did everything I could, considering I knew I was going to be gone. I had they were going to go to the zoo on Mother's Day because they had like a play date scheduled with a friend, and my wife was like, "Actually, yeah, why not? That would be fun to go and hang out with the two little ones and have a play date." And so I had breakfast delivered on Saturday, and I had flowers scheduled to be delivered on Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to have a little bit of some action
scheduled.
Yeah, I was trying to have some action, even though I wasn't there.
Did something go wrong with the flowers?
No, the flowers were great. They were there later than I thought they were going to be.
I was going to say, you said I had scheduled the flowers.
Yeah,
which sounds like it didn't happen.
There was the first thing that went wrong was that I had breakfast scheduled to be delivered on Saturday from one of our favorite spots, and one of the signature dish of the restaurant.
Yes.
Was not in the order that I definitely paid for.
Oh.
So kind of 0 for 1 there.
That's a bummer.
It's a little bit of a bummer, and I felt bad. I mean, there's not, enough what I could do. I said, yes, please, this item also, and it wasn't there. So we got the refund. It was all good, but it was just kind of like, bummer. That was kind of part of the surprise.
Wouldn't have ordered it if didn't have the thing.
Crispy French toast with berries. I mean, it's money. But then when I got home on Sunday, I'm thinking like, I hope the flowers look nice. They're not there. They're not on the front porch. And I'm like, so I like sneak into the bedroom, like looking at my receipt, like, yep, order acknowledged, delivery on Sunday. But anyway, I think they got there at like, 5:00 or something like that. But
they might have had a lot of orders.
I mean, they probably did. And that's totally understandable. I went with like a local florist. Yeah. Anyway, all that to say, I think they literally delivered it. It wasn't like a delivery service.
Right.
Like they, they looked beautiful. And so all that, all that was great. But, it's still fun to see, friends, little small backyard wedding. And, congratulations, Danny.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Now, next step, children.
Do they have any? They don't have any.
No, they don't have any kids. They don't have any kids. But Danny and another friend of mine he's another two big Liverpool fans that I know.
Yeah.
And he told me when we got there the day before or the day of in the morning to watch a Liverpool match together. And they had a Verbo with like a bunch of the wedding party and like all their close friends were renting.
Yeah.
And so before my buddy and I got there, he told everybody, now these two guys coming in here, they represent like the largest file on my phone. Because of how much we text like during matches and stuff. And I was like, that's a really funny way to introduce somebody. That they sort of like say, this is an important person to me, but in a weird way.
Yeah,
it's
a weird way to put it.
It's a weird way to put it, but you kind of go, oh wow, okay. So you guys communicate a lot.
If you want to say something to intentionally confuse your parents, say it like that, because they'll go, largest file.
Okay, yeah. I mean, God.
So you have a big picture of him, or
you got a lot of dirt on this guy?
Do you have a very long song of his?
No, just one that I wrote for him.
That's funny.
But it was good. It was still, we were able to celebrate Mother's Day. I think we still want to celebrate Mother's Day. I think I want to pick like an activity maybe this week or maybe this coming weekend or something that we can go do to continue that we would have otherwise got to do.
Yeah.
But still, it went well. The kids and I made presents and stuff for her in the middle of the week. So those were just stowed away until I got there on Sunday.
Yeah.
Which, because the kids and I worked on them together, they were in the garage, and I kind of like wrapped them all and put them in a little pile in the garage. But I didn't necessarily hide them. I just put them in the garage. And she said like Saturday and Sunday, anytime she went to go get something out of the freezer in the garage, little Henley was like, "Look, Mommy, look, let me show you. Look." And she's like, I'm not supposed to look at that stuff right now.
Kids get excited.
So, kids get very excited. They didn't tell her what they were, which I expected them to. Because we definitely worked on them together, and I said, this is a surprise for Mommy, but I also kind of thought this is a very big possibility that they might just start describing what the stuff, but I don't think they did. She was just definitely like, hey, let's grab this stuff. But how was your Mother's Day?
It was good. It was good.
Did you get a hotel for the wifey?
I got no for me as well. Spa. Got a real good face peel. No, we did breakfast in bed.
Okay.
And that was so funny because my son has been climbing in our bed every night now. It's every night. Every morning. Like comes in around 3. Like, and he falls back asleep. And you're just like, okay.
Night. Feet,
morning.
morning.
Like, nobody gets up at 3. It's night.
Yeah.
Nobody gets up at 3.
Yeah. I think
I know some people do it with jobs, but like it's a
I don't want to hear it.
Percentage.
You can come home until 2, right?
What?
You can come home at 2:00 in the morning and think that was a late night. That's not like way too late.
Yeah, 3:00. Well, in New York, it's different.
Yeah, it's different. But I'm saying between 2 and 4, I think is like.
I just like that we're just.
Do not do anything other than be sleeping.
I like that we're just doing math.
I don't know. I'm just
stop the story. Let's figure this out. All right. 3 a.m. What is it?
It's a dangerous hour to be like, what are you doing in here? Is what I mean.
What does everybody think? What do the listeners think? What is 3 a.m.? I think it's night.
I think it's not. Yeah, I think it's
night.
I think it's night because you definitely should be sleeping.
You should be asleep. So he comes in our bed, and so that's his thing. So he came in our bed. No, nothing different this time.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, Saturday night.
Yeah.
He's in our bed, and. So then I'm awake at like, well, it's one of those things where I'm awake, but I'm like, I'm not going to get up right now to make breakfast in bed because it's like still really early. At this point, it's like
4:50.
Well, it was like 5:36, and I think I was awake for the next I was awake for the rest of the morning. Like, I was just kind of like awake with my son next to me, just watching him, waiting for him to stir. Mm-hmm. So that when he stirs, I can be like, let's get up.
When he said he does that pretty much every day.
He does do it every day.
Night, every night. Does he, but he does that and then like comes to there to finish sleeping. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It didn't used to be that way. It used to be he came and be like, let's start the day. And that was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it took me hours to get him back to bed. And then he'd sleep till 8 a.m. because I'd get him back down at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, we slept till 8? You must be so lucky. No.
Yeah.
-2. So anyway, so he now he climbs in bed and he sleeps. And now I'm just watching him. He wakes up and I'm like, all right, let's go make breakfast in bed. And he's useless at that. So I just let him kind of eat whipped cream and chocolate chips while I get the oldest one who's kind of got a steadier hand. And I'm like, let's do this. Let's make some waffles. So we whipped up some waffles and cut some strawberries. And I think I let my son cut some strawberries. I did let him do that. Give him one of those plastic knives and a cutting board. You have fun over there.
Just get it done, man. Go for it.
Just go for it. He ate like 8 of them.
Part of the plan. Part of the plan.
That's why you give him the whole tray. You give him the whole thing, and you say, "I need 4." However you get there is up to you.
He's like, "Oh man, I need to eliminate 8 of these."
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot here. There's a lot of extras. I'm gonna get rid of all of them for him. I'm gonna do the right thing here.
For 4.
Yeah.
I don't feel so hot.
So we made the waffles. They were fine.
They were fine.
Yeah.
Did you do it? Huh? Now you did it.
Well,
you didn't ruin them. I ruined the pancakes.
I didn't ruin them, but they were dry, and I was like, okay.
That's what the syrup is for, or the butter.
I guess. Or no, it was borderline a choking hazard. I don't know what we did wrong. They were legally edible.
You don't know what happened. Special batter,
followed a
sort of a gluten-free situation.
No,
or
we went classic instructions, measured everything, did it as the instructions said, and we did it. And it was they were probably just overcooked. That's probably all it was. It's fine. And it was one of those things where it was like, breakfast is ready. Do you want it in bed? She's no, and I was like, great call. Mm-hmm. Let's
breakfast in bed. No, because it's I don't.
No,
like, I mean, yeah. I always picture like the sort of like laying down, like I don't know, unless you can like sit up properly, but still I don't really feel like eating with my legs straight. Is that like a...
Exactly. Eating with your legs straight, but your back has to be straight too because you don't want to spill any of it on your sheets.
Yeah, but I got terrible hamstrings.
So you're talking about like 90-degree angle eating?
I can't do that. I can't sit up. I can't sit on the ground with my legs out in front of me straight and sit up 90 degrees.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm at like 120.
And the funny thing is,
which is bad for my abs, and I have a bad lower back and no abs, so I can't sit up.
Yeah. So
without
luckily nobody brought you breakfast in bed in your hotel room.
No, we went down to the restaurant. It was very nice.
It was beautiful, continental,
and had myself some eggs Benny.
Oh, it's funny because it was either last year or the year before we did breakfast in bed for my wife, and we don't have one of those. Do you have one of those breakfast in bed trays?
No, with like that has like legs that fold out, kind of a situation. Yeah, I mean, we have like trays.
I think my parents had one that the instead of like it was legs, but they were baskets for putting like books and magazines in, as if you were gonna like ditch them for the day. Like, here's your food.
That's a Mother's Day tray.
It's a Mother's Day tray. It's also like a criminal who's in the hospital. Here's your food. Here's some reading material. See you at lunch.
Yeah, and then they like lock the door 6 times behind you.
Those big keys with 2 teeth on them.
What year are you considering this? All jails still work like that?
It's a big food slide.
Yeah.
So we don't have that. So I think it was last year or 2 years ago. We gave her, and it worked. But we gave her one of those trays for that you put in the bathtub.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, here you go. This will work.
For the bed.
Yeah, for the bed.
Okay.
But it was like, don't let your thighs twitch or the food's going everywhere.
I think I was going to say is like the idea of like
I think I put 2 pillows across her and then sat that on top.
Yeah. The idea of like sitting in a bed and trying to eat, just knowing that like, I'm a fidgety sitter.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm, one bump and then the orange juice is a little spilled, or, whatever. And so that like.
It's high stakes eating breakfast in bed. You make one mistake, now you have work to do. You just strip the bed.
It's like, yeah, we just did the sheets 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not in the mood. No, I don't want it.
No, you don't have to. You get the husband to do it. It's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But now you got to come out like a child who rode on the carpet.
Yeah.
Made a mess in the bed.
Sorry. We got to strip the bed. I know we can't leave because we got to run the washer. And it all goes downhill from there.
Shouldn't have given me chocolate chip pancakes. It's never coming out. So we did that, and then we were off. Our friend Jeffrey's in town. Jeffrey Binney, guys, if you're on social and you like dancing and long distance running, Jeffrey Binney, look him up. He's a friend of ours.
He's a fun fellow.
He went to.
If you like dancing and long distance,
if you like dancing and long distance, I know that doesn't make sense. Go to his page. First video you see, you'll go, I get it.
I get it, and this is fantastic.
I get it. And so my wife's known him since college.
Mm-hmm.
So we met up with him. He was in town. We went down to the Long Beach. So we went down to Long Beach. And
down to the LBC, they call it.
We find it right off the highway, this beautiful area.
Hmm?
Go to this parking lot. Pay for parking.
Did you know where you were going?
What do you mean? Like what?
Well,
beach?
you said like you kind of mentioned like, oh, it's a little spot off the highway, paid for parking. Like, were you just like,
yeah,
this looks fun.
I forget what it's called. I want to say Altadena, but I don't think that's right.
Okay, yeah, because that's a dairy company.
It's a beach. It's a beach though. Hey, listen, Coronado's a brewery, and it's also a street and a town.
Altadena is like the milk and sour cream.
I know it is, but there could be Altadena Beach.
It's probably Altadena, California.
But anyway, we found a beach, and like I said, we get there, we park. There's one of the most horrendous porta potties you've ever seen.
Oh, well, okay.
So we're just like, I think it's
weathered.
Gross.
This is weathered porta potty.
Yeah, it's a bad choice of words, but it is weathered by man. So then we walk down the beach, and it's a long walk. It's like the beach is just deep, and it was like a quarter mile to get to the water.
You might say it's long. Some people say it's long.
Yeah, long.
Well, long.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Save the dad jokes for the end.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
So we walk the beach. We finally get there, and as we get there, I'm kind of like, there's a decent amount of garbage around this beach.
Okay.
I was like, more than I like, but here we are. And my daughter's
What's the garbage to people ratio? Not very busy, but a lot of garbage.
Definitely more garbage than people.
Okay, well,
which is nice.
Yeah, maybe you take that. I don't know. You kind of just scoop out your own little.
Very personal beach. It looks like a party was just there, and they left, and they didn't clean up after themselves.
Naughty.
So then my daughter's like, Dad, you want to go play by the water with me? She like loves playing at the water.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, let's go. This is where I'm going to be for the next who knows how long.
As soon as they go down by the water, that's where you are.
Yeah. So we get down to the water. And I found the source of the garbage.
Oh.
It was the water.
It was just bringing the garbage. God, that's so sad.
It's really sad. It was really sad. I was looking at the water, and I was like, this water's really, there's a lot of garbage in it when I don't feel comfortable. And then I look down, and I see a used reproductive bag.
I understand.
We'll call it.
Yes.
And I said, pack it up. We're going. Nope.
You can't. It's a condom. We can say
it's a reproductive bag, a used reproductive bag, and not a reusable.
I don't think it's a reproductive bag.
It is. It's
a preventative.
Reproductive, whatever. And I was like, pack it up. We're getting out of here. And as we turn around, right in front of me then is like a tampon applicator. And I was like, what is happening here? Like, what happened? So I just grab my daughter and I go, nope. And I walk up and say to my wife, nope, pack it up.
The beach is over.
Pack it up. We're going to find anywhere else. Anywhere else we can go. So we drove. We contacted Jeffrey. We're like, don't meet us here.
Yeah, don't meet us at Garbage Beach.
Yeah. So we drove 20 more minutes away from that.
Just away.
Just away.
Away from it.
and we found a beach with a lot of people, and we said that's where we'll go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now now it's better to have maybe
people make more
over
sense.
garbage. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, you got to go where the people are.
Yeah.
Ariel said it best. You know, I want to be where the people are. We went there. I mean, no trash. It was great. People did a great job. I was really proud of everyone there.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, nice.
And then we played by the water, and it was really fun. Dumb dad moment.
Good.
We applied
on Mother's Day.
sunscreen.
You had one.
Yeah, we applied sunscreen to the kids.
Okay.
No reapplications happened.
I see. Yeah.
At all. Whole family is suffering.
Okay.
through some burns. We were all
no reapply when you're at the beach and it's like you're under a magnifying glass.
Yeah, we just didn't obviously think it through
sure
at all. And
yeah, so Mother's Day
the
just
kids were having
sailing.
It was smooth sailing. It was that night that we realized that we were going to have problems. We went to Ballast Point Brewery, which
is where you got these
where I got the beers for today. Really beautiful restaurant. Shout out to Ballast Point. They really need the business.
They need what?
The business.
Oh, they need the business.
They don't. They're doing fine.
Hey, no freebies here. Hey,
no freebies.
Ballast Point, hit us up.
We'll bleep all these.
Yeah.
But we went there. We had some food, and it was good because we were at the beach for so long that not only did we get the kids burnt, but we got all their energy out. So it was nice to go to an outside restaurant, and then we just gave them our phones, and they were just like glued to it, zapped out for a while, and then my son got a second wind and wanted to run around, and that was fine. But that was Mother's Day. I mean, we were there.
And then you drove home that night?
Yeah.
Did you get home? Like, the kids fell asleep in the car. You get home later?
Yeah. That made bedtime a little tricky for my son. My daughter fell asleep for the last 5 minutes, and my son
in the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was fine. Woke her up.
No, I'm just surprised after a long day like that. She made it 40 minutes home at least, without falling asleep.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit more than that, but she was only asleep at the very, very end, and he fell asleep 20 minutes in. He was just maybe less. He was like, "I'm out of here.
I'll see you guys later. Wake me up at home, and then we can party."
And then he did, and then it was hard to get him to bed because he was like, "I took my nap." I was like, "Oh, it is bedtime, young sir. Please leave."
It's interesting. Sometimes I feel like, certainly during the day, we've had that conversation before many times. Your kid falls asleep in the car for 5 seconds in the middle of the day. You're not getting nap time, no matter how much you bribe them.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I don't understand it. We need to get a professional on this podcast.
Yeah.
That is a question I want to know the answer to. You can tell me they rested a little bit, but I'm like, no. My son normally sleeps 2 hours. I can usually get 2 hours out of him, and it's nice. He's weaning off of it, by the way. It's I know, around the corner.
I can see it. I have the wide point of view where I just see your time just slipping away from you.
I mean,
I think about it often, and I pray for you.
To be fair, you've been saying it for months, and
I'm just trying to warn you. I'm looking out for you.
All right.
I wasn't months ago. I'm not saying it, nap time's over, but I'm telling you, it's on the horizon.
It's on the pod. You said months ago nap time was over. Anyway,
nobody's gonna.
But I can get 2 hours out of him. But if he sleeps 5 minutes in the car, he's good for the day. What?
I wouldn't say he's good for the day.
No, he's not. He's crashing around 6. He's
mentally crashing around 6.
Mentally crashing. He's not showing signs of sleepiness. He's showing signs that what if we threw a bottle of liquor that was on fire through a deli?
Yeah, and then went and tried to have dinner in there.
Yeah. What if we jumped on a car and hit it with a trash can?
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool, right? And if you don't want to...
And I know that's what? But it really tuckers them out when we do that.
So, it's give and take sort of situation.
It's really give and take.
Yeah.
How much property damage you're willing to pay for to make sure you get the full 12 at night.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad you had a good Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just spending the day together. I don't really understand, is this bad for me to say? I don't want to be around. That's kind of the joke, right? On social media, we see listen, for Mother's Day, I don't want a gift. I want time, and I want you to leave the house, and I want to be by myself. It's kind of like the mother's joke.
Yeah.
Like when Father's Day comes around, I certainly don't feel like that. Now, I understand part of that point of view I think it's a lot of stay-at-home moms that we follow on social media and things that are like around the kids all day long, and they're like, I don't want to be around the kids today.
Right.
But we're around the kids a lot, being stay-at-home dads. But I still don't feel like that. Like, get out of here.
You have the advantage, and as do I now since the pandemic. So I've had it for the last 2 years as well, of having our spouse home. That's a whole different ballgame. Like, your wife's always worked from home.
Sure.
A few days here and there where she's gone into an office, but like, you've had the luxury. I think there's a lot of stay-at-home parents, mostly moms, who are alone with the kids
in the house
all day.
I get
their
I can see that.
identity.
Yeah.
To a degree. I know that's not what I mean, but you understand that's what it feels like. There's just the kids all day, every day. Then when the time to appreciate mom comes around, it goes, great. Give me a break.
How about appreciate my personal time by giving me some? Yeah, no, I get that. I guess I get that. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. You didn't do that. You went spent the whole day together. I know. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, different strokes, different folks. My wife, she works, she has a day job that is not stay-at-home parenting. And now that we have this office too, she gets plenty of time to herself. She comes out a lot. And she's, still helps out and all that stuff.
There's a lot of screaming.
She likes to. She hears the screams and she runs. I don't have it figured out. I never will. No, yeah, she wants to have time to play with the kids, especially on like a weekend. It's different for everybody. More importantly, but like for her particularly, she works at her job. Her weekends are a time with her kids. So Mother's Day is going to be no different.
Sure.
But let's go do something a little extra fun.
Well, let me tell you, I brought a little bit of a laundry list of dumb dad moments.
Great.
If you will. I'm gonna read them off to you here, and maybe you can pick and choose what you want to hear about. I wrote some down this week because it was like they started to pile up. Here's my week in dumb dad moments in quick fashion. To quench my daughter's thirst, I had the two of us drink some dish soap water. I snapped my daughter's...
Let's slow it down. I appreciate you brought a list. What do you mean you drank dish soap water?
So, as we've said before, we're in the healthy schedule now of like, as soon as I get home from dropping my son off from school, she starts hanging on me about, can we go to the playground? She wants to go to the playground a lot. Yeah. She loves the playground like almost every day now. So it's fine. It's fun to go and have her run around. Got to get the energy out, right? So from the trip this weekend, I honestly don't know who rinsed it out. I brought my a water bottle with me this weekend, and then it was got rinsed out and put in the sink and above the sink to dry. And today we were getting out of the house. I was like, I better grab water. I grabbed my water bottle, filled it with water, closed it, left. Didn't think about it. Just filled it with water and closed it and left, as you do. And we get to the park and we're playing a little bit. Half an hour later, I take a swig of water and I think, that tasted kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't really think anything. It didn't taste really bad or clear that something was wrong, but it tasted kind of funny. But then 10 minutes go by, I take another swig. She goes, can I have some water? Yeah, sure. Give her some water. But I'm still thinking that tastes kind of weird. But that's all I think. It was just like, it didn't taste so bad that I needed to investigate it. I just thought, that tastes kind of weird. Maybe I didn't rinse it out well. Anyway. Yeah. Then we were sitting there for a moment and I unscrew the cap and I look down and the cap has like a bunch of like bubbles in it. And around the mouth of the thing, it's got bubbles on it too. And I thought, I see what happened here is it got rinsed out and with soap and water. Yeah. But maybe there was some in the cap that didn't get rinsed out all the way. So it wasn't like full soap water. I think I definitely would have tasted if it was like fully soapy water, but it was definitely soap on the mouth of the thing.
Okay. That's one.
I was like, yeah, let's try to rinse some more of this off, and then maybe we can get by for about another half an hour and go home and drink some water, and not continue this risky situation we're in here. So that was one dumb dad moment. Dumb dad moment number two. My daughter has this I think a lot of kids have those it's like a light up wand. It plays music and you get, it's like a Minnie Mouse one she has, but you can get it at amusement parks, the zoo, whatever, at night. You push a button.
It spins.
Yeah, it spins, or this plays music, whatever. We were playing out in the backyard like a couple days ago, and I think she left it out in the backyard. No one saw it. And then when I drove home today from the playground, I was turning the car around in the back, and I definitely ran over it and like snapped it in half.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
And like, I didn't know that happened. It was just happened.
Yep.
And then we get out of the car, and it's like, as soon as we're walking into the house, she sees it, and she's like, oh no. And then just like has a meltdown. I'm like, I am so sorry. Yeah, we shouldn't leave these outside. Looks like I ran it over. So I don't know. So we're probably picking one of those up this week. She's 3. Oh, I can't say like, you can't leave that out in the yard. You know, it's just an accident.
You hold it up to their face like a dog that's soiled the carpet.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. This is what happens.
Well, a dog that's like folded in half. Right? Is that what you mean?
Oh, I didn't mean you ran over the dog.
Okay. Last one. Oh, not really a dumb dad moment, but like a parenting moment that you got to deal with in the middle of the week.
Uh-huh.
My son, who we talked about, has braces now.
Hell yeah.
The day before I left, we had him. It's all about bite-sized things. You know, they drill it into you. Bite-size this, bite-size that, bite-size this, bite-size that. For dinner, we gave him some apple slices, and they were just like slices, not bite-sized, but just slices. Peel on. In hindsight, probably a no-no, I guess. But he took a bite of just like an apple slice. He just bit it in half. And neither of us saw it happen. We just saw him going, ah, because he like completely freaked out. Because when he pulled it away from his mouth, he pulled the wire like out of one side of the braces. It came out all the way out of his mouth and like was resting against his face. And so he's like freaking out. And what's
parenting's the worst.
It's the worst because at the same time, like he's freaking out. Like
yeah,
I
he
looked over.
Should freak out. Part of his face came out. As far as he's concerned,
I will say this: he starts freaking out within like a half second. I look at him and I just see what has gone on.
Yeah,
but before my wife can see what's going on, he puts his hands over his mouth and is like freak. I mean,
yep.
She thought he bit part of his tongue off.
Oh, okay.
Was his reaction?
Sure. It's a bit big, but I get it.
It was a bigger reaction to a bit of a smaller problem. He doesn't know that it's a small problem. He just feels that something went wrong. So I don't want to take all of it away from him for being scared. But at the same time, like my wife is...
Children are not natural problem solvers.
Correct. Her reaction started to almost match his. And I was like, I saw it. It's fine. He's fine. Everyone take a deep breath. Because my daughter's in on it too. His bracelet came off. Which is what she calls it. So...
Face bracelet.
Yeah, so... The whole weekend, it was all about can't really brush his top teeth very carefully because we kind of just like put it back into place. And then because it's the weekend, the orthodontist is not open. And so we like called, hey, what should we do? No response.
So the gears on your bike broke. Let's just get home.
Let's just get home. Okay, we're going to go a little slower. I mean, it was like, pretty much like, you want pudding? Great. Yogurt? Awesome. How about some?
You're gonna lose some weight this weekend.
Yeah. So that was kind of that until today, Monday. We got
emergency orthodontist appointment.
Pretty much emergency.
Did you go to school? Or you
classic 2:30 appointment time.
Oh, okay.
Classic.
So he still went to school.
Dentist 2:30. You get it.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah, they called and they called in the morning. They were like, we can get him in at 10:15.
Great.
And I was like, what? Yeah, I mean. Is there another time, maybe? So we not just like pull him out of school after he's been there for an hour and a half. So yeah, so they said we can do 2:30. So went and got him out a little bit early.
You guys risked it. You were gonna get a call from the teacher going, "There's springs everywhere."
Yeah. Well, I mean, he'd been like that. Did
it pop out again? It didn't. It was just fine all weekend.
No, it was fine all weekend. I think what happened was it got caught on the wire, and when he pulled it, or something, and when he pulled it away,
everyone, just to be clear.
The apple skin. So he pulled it away. It got caught and slid it they're like slid into these things and then held on by the rubber band. So I think it just slid all the way out because the rubber band was still there.
Yeah.
So we couldn't like put it back in any way. Yeah. I went, you tell me what your reaction would be because it's out and against his face. So you got to like bend it back in and try to snap it back into place, but you can't snap it back into place because You need to snap it back into place and then hold it there with a rubber band. But it slid out sort of behind the rubber band.
Yeah.
So we can't like slide it through there and lock it into place. We just kind of like put it back where it was on top normally and asked him, is it that bad? He said, no, it's not that bad. It's not like it was jabbing him or anything necessarily, but it was just sort of loosely there. But I went right to, well, we're just taking this thing out of here, was my first reaction.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought, like, once the other side's loose, we could just slide it out.
And then just all of a sudden,
yeah, and then
just all these braces are just tinking.
Teeth everywhere.
No, the teeth too.
So that was my reaction. Where it's like, well, they'll just go put it back on Monday or whatever. And then we have to, it's like, it's not going to undo everything so
you
far.
You show up on Monday with like the springs and a cup of milk, and
isn't
that what you're supposed to do? And they're like, what?
In like a Ziploc.
Yeah.
Like, here's the springs and the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my wife's like, I think we could just put it. So she was in there. She got down in there with a phone, flashlight, and everything, and kind of just set it back into sort of temporary place, and then was like, "Don't move your mouth."
Were you, while your wife was doing that, were you pacing, going, "God, this kid's costing us a fortune"?
No, no, because when those things happen, I think it's so easy to go to that space, maybe, or just the inconvenience of that and everything. But he doesn't know. I mean, he doesn't know. He's 7.
I know.
I know you're joking, but that's kind of where a lot of that can go, And we just try to just go. I mean, he was freaking out for like 15 minutes. He was worried that like they were ruined or that he was in trouble or whatever. And it was like, nothing bad is happening. This is just something that came apart a little bit, and they'll put it back. He didn't, not understanding exactly how bracelets work and everything. He was really coming unglued there for a second, but it was like everything's fine.
Like the bracelets came unglued.
Yeah, all the bracelets came unglued. It was cheaply made, really.
Last time you use a coupon.
So it was really kind of just, like I said, I had kind of a laundry list of stuff that just was like, man.
You had a week.
I had a week. Capped it off by, like, I had a week. I got to get out of here.
Wait, what's Sunday?
Yeah. But I wanted to say one funny story that happened that to me, I told my wife the story. And this is the reason I tell this story, which was my wife's reaction, which is this is such a clear definition of the differences between a brother and sister, or how different your two children can be.
Yeah.
So we're driving down the road. I'll make this short. We're driving down the road, and we have all the windows down. They're loving it. Their hair's blowing all over the place. They're laughing, Yeah. And a plastic bag that was in the hatchback of the car, empty plastic bag, swirling around in the back, sort of under the pressure of what's going on, went into the back seat, and then at the same time that made sort of a funny noise, I quickly glanced to see it get sucked out of the car window. I mean, like you see on on an airplane in a movie, like just instantaneously like sucked out of the window. And I was like, whoa, that happened. And it was kind of a bigger plastic bag. So it was like kind of intense for a second there. It was just so wild to see that happen. And my son immediately goes into, what was that? What was that? And I'm like, I think it was a plastic bag. And he goes, okay, was there something in the plastic bag? And I go, I don't know. I don't think so. And he goes, okay. Well, what if there was? Where did it go? And I was like, well, it's gone now, whatever. Yeah. We were on the freeway. I mean, it was like, it's gone, whatever it was, which sends him into a little bit more of a loop. This is a conversation that happens over the course of like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
What happens? Where did it go? I'm like, I don't know. Nothing in there? I don't think so. If there was, we don't see it anymore. He's like, okay, well, I hope nothing was in there, because if there was, then nobody's going to have it anymore. And as he's doing that, I look back and my daughter still has this look on her face. Like she's flabbergasted that she saw it and was like sort of laughing, looking at me like, did you see that? Like, it was just like, she thought it was the funniest thing she'd ever seen.
Second children don't care.
Second
child don't care.
I don't know. I don't know if it's second child or just different child or whatever, but I mean, as the empathetic kid that he is, with the heart on his sleeve and everything, he goes right to like, I hope somebody isn't hurt by that, or I hope somebody isn't missing something. She's just like, that was a wild scene, man.
I can just see you being like, oh no, everything's fine. And you like shot of your son, you see over your shoulder, just cars going.
Yeah, as I'm driving with
him.
Just explosions
Everything's
going
fine,
on behind
man.
me.
I'm sure there's nothing in that bag.
Listen, everything's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Dad, look at that rod. Yeah, my daughter's like, this is intense. But it was just a funny moment that happened during the week that I thought, God, that's so funny that a simple thing like that harmed no one.
Both my children, but just different animals.
Just different animals completely that were just have a completely different reaction to something that otherwise was like, whoa, that was funny. Like quick moment, but
that's amazing.
The look on her face was so funny. Like she was just laughing.
That's great. Guys, if you have a dumb parenting moment, whether it's from this past Mother's Day or if just in life in general, you guys can send them to us, dumbdadpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram. We're at dumbdadpod, which is also our handle on TikTok and Twitter. We're the Dumb Dads on YouTube. If you want to watch the podcast, we now have it on YouTube in our studio.
It's a fun watch. You look very
watch.
nice today, Kevin. You're lit very nicely.
Thank you. I wore black. It's slimming. I'm dead inside.
Yeah.
So go ahead and write in. Tell us your dumb parenting moments. We'd love to hear them. Guys, thank you as always to @Verdue on SoundCloud for the intro, outro.
Oh, yeah. The
And
danciness?
The dancies. And thank you as always to my lovely wife, Annie, for editing this podcast. Evan, do you have a joke to take us out?
Yeah. What do you call two monkeys that share an Amazon account?
Two monkeys that share an Amazon account.
Yeah.
You're so excited.
Yeah, you're going to hate this one.
Okay. What?
Prime mates. Yeah, so they... Although I actually don't... I don't know if they get like... Would it still be 2-day, like in the deep heart of the jungle, I don't know. I guess that's a question for Amazon. But.
It's still probably faster than... It doesn't matter. Okay,
domestic
bye.
shipping. Bye.
Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?